If you are a new or returning principal, you're experiencing your second semester, how are things going? How you feeling these days? And the experience that you're having as a new or returning principal, the things that are happening today, is this what you bargained for? Is this something that you never thought that you'd have to go through? And how many of you think you were prepared for this? Okay, so you went to get your bachelor's degree, and you got your master's degree, and you got your certification and principalship. And oh my goodness, you just had to try. Some of you say, well, I'm just ready to get out of this classroom. I can be an administrator. I see what those folks are doing around me, and I know I can do the same thing that they're doing. But if you want to discuss these kind of questions, because we're talking about ways to recognize an awesome principal, ways to recognize a great principal. And if you want to discuss those ways, then you're in the right place. And if you want to become a great principal, you're in the right place. Research says that there's no evidence that schools will improve in academics without great leadership. And in our current environment, with all the challenges that we're having, the great leadership is what's going to make it happen. You hear principals complaining, oh, I'm tired getting texts at 3 o'clock in the morning from a teacher saying I'm not going to be there. I'm tired getting emails saying that I got a new directive from central administration. My regular teachers who just come all the time, they're just worn out. And I know some of you are saying that, some of these teachers that are calling in, these folks just they're just taking advantage of things. You know who they are. I mean, we're, as teachers, as educators, we're like every other profession. We have those who will just do the greatest job, be the most committed and the most brilliant person in their profession. And we have the same thing in our teaching profession. And let's get things clear. They're talking about, teachers not signing up, teachers retiring, teachers quitting. And we have such a great teacher shortage. But guess what? We had a teacher shortage before this. And this, of course, just exacerbates everything. But we're looking at a time when you, as the principal, can be known as a great principal. Because in place of all of these odds, all of these things that you're going through, your school is one that made it. So tell me this, why did you want to be a principal? Was it because you were going to get a nice office, because you were going to decorate your office, you didn't want the furniture that the school district had, that you were going to go and purchase your own furniture because this was your office, and anybody that came in, you wanted to impress them. Is that why you became a principal? So what are you about? As a principal, let's think about it. And where are you going? What are your goals? When I was assigned to the principalship, oh man, I was so excited because I worked so hard to get my credentials. I got my degrees and I got my certifications, and I became an assistant principal. And I thought that, man, I can do that job. I learned the system. I just didn't realize. I just did not realize that it wasn't about the certification. It wasn't about the degrees. It wasn't about, oh, it's my time to have a school. No, it was not about that. it was about me serving my community. And if you are not in this business to serve your community, then you will not be known as a great principal. You've seen them come, you've seen them go, you've seen some stay in position simply because they had a heavy hand, they kept everybody in check, there was no collaboration, there was no commitment, there wasn't the kind of character that should have been there. You've seen that. So, what we're going to be talking about today is three things, three awesome things that you can identify when you see a great school leader. And the first is character. You can't be a great leader. You can't be a great anything without character. You have to have collaboration. You can't do it by yourself. And you have to have commitment. So when everything is going wrong, when it seems as though when you turn to your left and you turn to your right, things are coming from behind you, you have to have the commitment. Hi, my name is Barbara Polk. I am known as a turnaround principal. And I was assigned to one of the lowest performing campuses in my district. And well, it was the lowest performing campus in my district and one of the lowest performing campuses in the state of Texas. I was, along with my team, through collaboration, we were able to turn that low performing school around in less than 2 years. Was it an easy job? No, it was not. It was not an easy job. Did it require lots of collaboration? Yes, it did. What kind of school was it when I was assigned to it? I'll tell you what kind of school it was. It was a school that was low performing. It was a school where attendance was low. It was a school where teachers would come in on Monday and we wouldn't see them after the weekend. It was a school where substitutes came in at 8:40 and by 12 o'clock they were gone. It was a school where there was gangs, where there was drugs, where nobody cared. Everybody just showed up. And the people who wanted to learn, they just kind of moved to the front. And the ones who just wanted to cut up, they just kind of moved to the back. And then all the activity that was going on, there was, was discipline issues. You were suspending people, sending people to the alternative campus, expelling people. That's the kind of campus it was. And I want to tell you that we got that school turned around within a year. We got that school turned around. And that last school that I'm talking about, that I turned around along with my team, never went back to low performing while I was principal. Never went back. So what I want to tell you is that challenges, you may say, well, I mean, you never worked in a campus during the pandemic. You just don't understand. Well, the same principles will work. The same principles will work. And those three principles that I'm talking about today are the principles of character. I don't care whether you're in a pandemic. I don't care whether you're in a hurricane. I don't care whether the sun is shining and everything is cool. You still have to have character. And the second thing is that you have to have commitment. You have to have commitment during a pandemic, through a pandemic, after a pandemic. You have to have commitment whether teachers are there, whether students are there, whether custodians are there. You have to have a commitment. And the last thing that's universal, you have to have collaboration. And you can't do anything without collaboration. You cannot function as a high-performing principal without collaboration. So that's the kind of thing that is going to make the difference. So what I want you to do before we get started, I want you to hit the share button. If you are watching on YouTube, I want you to hit the subscribe button. And if you're on Principals on the Come Up, our private group, hit that plus button up there. Hit that plus button. And you can invite, any of your friends, any of your colleagues, because I guarantee you that some of the things that we're talking about, they just have not been exposed to. When you are around constant complaining, talking about the children, talking about the parents, talking about the sorry teachers, talking about the teachers that are lying, talking about the teachers who are not getting the job done, and not realizing that you have a team of people, and it may be a small team. It's better to have 10 that you can depend on than 100 who are just going to talk about you. You need to have a team, and that's the collaboration piece. So here we go. Talking about character, I was reading a blog that's by Ed DeRoche, and he was saying that without collaboration and commitment, you can't be a great principal without collaboration and commitment. And during these present times, when you hear so many of your colleagues complaining about the challenges, and not only your colleagues, but you have people in the community, you have superintendents, you have your politicians, you have everybody complaining. So to be a great principal, don't fall into that complaint. Don't fall into it. Fall onto the character that you have to get the job done. You're the principal that was assigned to that campus. You're the newly assigned principal that was assigned to that campus. You're the returning principal that was assigned to that campus. You have to show your character. I know you're tired of your teachers, can't find teachers, can't find subs, students being out, and you're wondering how your students going to achieve when you have all of these issues. And guess what? It's not going to get any better for a while. But when your character is showing, when people know that they can depend on you, then you will find that there will be a change. Then that's when you become a great leader. Is it a tough job? You bet you it's a tough job. Can it be done? Oh yeah, it can be done with the character that you have. So what about you? What are you about? Why are you about it? Why are you the principal of that school? We have principals and we have principals. For those of you who are new to the position and the profession, you know what I'm talking about, as well as the veterans. And it reminds me of a story of a young college wrestler. This college wrestler says there is wrestling and there is wrestler. Okay? So the wrestling people, they just show up because they're on the team. They're here for practice. They do what the coach tells them to do. If the coach says stand up in the corner, they stand in the corner. If they say raise their left hand, they raise their left hand. And then after practice is over, they put their stuff in their gym bag and they go on about their business. But the wrestler wants to know, how can I do the job better? The wrestler wants to know who is tops in what they're doing. The wrestler wants to know, how are they achieving these goals? How is he a state champion? How is he a national champion? That's what the wrestler does. That's the difference between between wrestling and a wrestler. And I know during these days that we're in now, you hear complaining about, oh my goodness, when I walk out of this school, I'm going to forget everything that is going on. I'm going to go and get me a cocktail and I'm going to post it to show you that I'm kicking back, and then compartmentalize. Hey, Frida, compartmentalize their principalship, walk in on Monday morning, try to throw some things together, and then wonder why their school is falling apart. It's like, are you a principal? Or are you a principal? As a principal, is this who you Or are you doing this because you are here to serve? Because you are here to serve your community? Because you are here to go the extra mile? Because without you, students won't be able to survive in this community years from now, days from now. Or are you just somebody who wants to complain? Do you love what you're doing? Do you understand your mission as a principal? Great principals are role models. Are you a role model? Can people stand back and look at you and say, that's who I want to be as a principal? Okay, that's enough for that. So do you collaborate? Now that's the second piece of being a great principal. Are you looking for a great principal? You're looking for somebody who's collaborating. Somebody who's collaborating, not somebody who's sitting in her office, all decorated, with her red bottom shoes on, with her nails done and her hair done to the T. How can you collaborate like that? Do you have leadership teams? Or are you trying to do it all yourself? Is being a principal all about you? I don't think greatness comes from that. Your leadership teams, do you have one? Somebody who can help you as the assistant principal, the principal, your teacher leaders, somebody who can help you share the responsibilities? Or do you want all the glory? Is that what it takes? Is that what you're about? You want all the glory? So you're going to try to do it all by yourself? Research says it doesn't happen. Research says it doesn't happen. Experience says it doesn't happen. Look around you and it says it doesn't happen. Do you encourage your teachers to collaborate? Is it difficult? Yes, it is. It's difficult. But you know, if you do it enough times, and if you're like the difference between wrestling and a wrestler, where you put the time in, where you want to be a great principal, where you want to serve your community, then you will collaborate. You will have others to help you. They understand the vision of the school. They understand the direction. You want to stop all the backbiting and all of the gossiping? Let's start collaborating. That's how you can identify a great principal. And number 3 is the commitment. Commitment. So when challenges occur, do you just say, I'm done with that? No, ma'am. No, sir. No, I'm not doing all of that. Or do you receive directives from central administration that just don't line up with the way your vision has been for your campus and your mission on your campus? How do you handle that? Are you committed to support your teachers, to be able to get it all done? That's the sign of a great principal. And when you know that the things that are going on your campus are not aligning with the vision, do you stand firm or do you just roll over? You just go along to get along because you want to be popular with your teachers. Because your teachers are complaining about the discipline in their classes, these children just cutting up, so you decide you're going to send them all to the alternative campus. You think that's pleasing your teachers. Well, you have to stand for something. You know, you have to stand for something or you will fall for anything. You have to look further than just today. All these people you are suspending and sending to the alternative campus, guess what? They come back. They come back. They come back the same way. They're going back into the same classroom where the teacher has poor management skills. And it's just going to be a revolving door unless something is done about it. Unless you are committed to making sure that the children that you are serving, the community that you are serving, are getting the best that you have to give. You know, Principal Kafele, Baruti Kafele says, he says this, and he has a book titled by this, Is My School a Better Place Because I Lead It? If you want your school to succeed in the crisis, you have to be committed. Your team will help you. Your team will help you through. Your team is looking for energy from you. They're looking for collaboration from you. They're looking for a person who is a consensus builder, not one that's dividing one half of the building with the other half of the building. That's what they're looking for. So we talked about 3 ways to recognize a great school leader. If you're looking for 3 ways to identify that great school leader, you're looking for character, you're looking for commitment, and you're looking for collaboration. And that's the only thing, only 3, not the only 3, but the top 3. And collaboration is the biggest one. Collaboration is the biggest one. And as I said, it's going to take work. Yes, it will. But will you have success? Absolutely. Absolutely. So next week, we're going to talk some more about collaboration and teaming. And I want to say hey to Frida. Frida says, I joined the right session. I need this push today. I'm on assignment. No complaining here. This is tight, but it's right. And I have somebody else who is saying, hey, Barbara, love the necklace. Thank you. But we're looking for great principles. We're creating great principles, and we're in an environment where great principles are developed. We're looking for an environment where great principles are developed. And as I heard somebody say, don't waste this opportunity during the pandemic. Hey, Deborah, what's going on? Don't waste a good pandemic. Don't waste a good pandemic. This is how you're going to become a great principal. Commitment, collaboration, and character. Once you make sure you join, invite your friends for Principals on the Come Up. And if you are on Barbara Ray Polk Consulting, just hit that share button. If you are on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. So we'll be seeing you next time on Principals on the Come Up, where we transform schools into hallelujah success stories. We'll see you next time.